Hey, I'm Molly Sims.
And I'm Emese Gormley. We're two girls obsessed with one thing, beauty.
And by that, we mean everything that makes you look
And feel
beautiful.
We're calling on our favorite health experts, industry insiders, and friends to answer all your beauty questions.
With a drink in hand.
Definitely with a drink in hand.
You're listening to Lipstick on the Rim with Molly Sims.
Today's guests, wow, unbelievable. Both people, freaking fucking hilarious. Great people, incredible actors. I'm honored to have been part of an incredible film called Kinda Pregnant, which just made its debut on Netflix. I'm so happy we did it.
I gotta give you guys all props. It is the funny. Kinda Pregnant is the funniest movie I have seen in truly a really long time.
Thank you so much.
I love a good comedy, and this is going to get everybody laughing. We need laughter right now. We need laughter.
100%.
But I just have to make sure it's clear that Molly Sims made this movie happen. 100%.
You didn't get to be a part of it. You started it.
Yeah,
you originated this.
I know.
This is why this movie was made.
A lot of people don't know this. I go to school in Los Angeles. My kids do, and their kindergarten teacher, I was in 1B. Miss Paiva was in 1A, and a friend of mine, Brooke Mahan, said, Miss Paiva's a writer. And I'm like, everybody in LA is a writer. You know what I mean? So you get given a lot. She's got this script, and there's part called Megan, and it's about this girl who wears this belly. Her name's Lainey. And I'm like, okay. She's like, just read it. And I was like, okay. I gave it to my manager, who, Nicole Salaka, did not read it. So I actually finally read it 2 months later. And when I was 35, I was playing Pregnant with Josh Duhamel on Las Vegas on NBC. And I had to wear that fucking bump for 8 months.
Oh my God. Why 8 months? That's how long?
It was a whole they went with real time.
It was 24 episodes.
24
That's the difference.
episodes.
Those are the days.
But at the end of shooting, I never really wanted a family before then. But something about it I don't know if pushed me over the edge. I ended up going to a IVF specialist, Dr. Gadir, if you're listening. It just kind of threw me. Wow. And I remember going, and I was in the market or whatever, and I was passing by another cover of Heidi Klum, and I was like, oh, fuck her. And I was like,
Klum.
I was like, fuck you. But it wasn't because she was on the cover. It was because she was married and had 4 kids. So it was that moment of everyone around you having something, being with someone. And, we
were sad going to the Korean spa together, crying in front of Starbucks.
Oh my God.
We were. That was us.
We really were.
So dark.
We went to Turks and Caicos.
We went to Turks and Caicos, and she walks out and she goes, I fucking hate everyone. And I was
fucking
like,
hate everyone. But it's those moments, and that is ultimately what made me resonate with the film, was that universal idea that it hits women at at different times, at different moments.
Yeah.
But never in a million years did I be sitting here thinking,
oh my God,
the fucking two of you.
I can't believe you did it and then we did it, and how wrong I've been saying Julie's name.
What have you been saying?
I've been saying sometimes I've been calling her Julia, sometimes Julie, and then I always say Pavia. I'm like, Julia Pavia.
But what's crazy is when I asked her early on, I said, did you have anybody in mind when you were shooting it? And she goes, I know this sounds crazy. I was like, it's fucking never going to happen. She was like, Amy Schumer.
Oh, nice.
That was 4 years ago. I still have.
Oh my God.
And you're like, Amy has 1 egg left in her body, so we better do it now.
But yeah, it's been a ride. But your careers, both of you. I mean, you've had such.
Well, you were such a fan of Bree's. You were like,
always.
You were like Bree.
Sims.
Yeah, you were like,
I watched Ginny and Georgia.
Yeah.
So
she's like, no, you have to check out this girl. And I'm like, I look at a picture of Bree and I'm like, get out of here. Like, no way. And then just, like to be respectful, watched her audition. And I was like, oh my God, she's amazing. And Molly, you're so right.
You know what's great about you? You're so real, but you're so grounded and authentic.
Oh, thank you.
And, to play this part, it's what grounds the comedy. It's what it's what makes, you've got to have it.
That's what, and they say comedy's harder than drama in a lot of ways because there's so much timing and so much instincts, and a lot of that you can't teach. So I feel like I got to go to work every day and just watch these incredible, incredible talents every single day.
We had a great cut.
I kind of still can't handle it.
Ursula. You found Ursula.
I'll take credit for her.
Yeah, you did. She was
I'll take credit.
I wanted someone else. And she was like, no.
I'm like, this
ground.
woman is in New Zealand. I don't know how I got her in. I'm like, she's not an actor. She's in New Zealand. Like, no one knows her. But then people saw footage of her, and it was like, okay,
everyone knows her.
But Amy, you have incredible instincts.
Yeah.
Like watching you on set is a dream. Just watching the way you take notes, watching the way you digest notes, watching the way you give a note. I learned so much, and it's just incredible.
But speaking of comedic timing, which is like you're the powerhouse of it, I will say the first time I ever saw you was many, many years ago. A good friend of mine for a long time is Jess Alba. And she sends me this video. And she's like, you've got to watch this. You're going to fucking die. And I'm like, what is this? And it was like a YouTube clip. It was your meerkat video. Do you remember this? I will tell you guys, if you have not, Google Amy Schumer and meerkat. And if you don't pee yourself just a little.
Okay.
My sister wrote that sketch for
it is
but you see how my sister really feels about me.
I actually want to pull it up at the end of this because it is to this day, I don't think I've laughed harder. It was so brilliant.
Oh my God. Oh, because Jessica's name checked in that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she sent it to me and she was like, and I actually think for some random reason, her husband was with us at the time. And I was like, what is this? I'm like, what am I watching? And then we were
Let me
dying.
give you the gist. Okay.
Yeah,
the gist is that
please.
I'm really excited. I've got this voiceover gig, for a kid, for like a comedy, like a kid's thing. And it's about like these like sexy meerkats. And they're also like,
I'm Jessica.
ninjas or whatever, and it's like it's
Megan.
you, Jessica Alba, and
Megan Fox,
and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense with them, and then like I'm doing the recording as the it's revealed what the animation is, and I see myself for the first time, and like the hot ones, the first ones are like gorgeous. Jessica's like it's like the hair.
I'm Jessica.
I'm like this
the
like
hot one.
the hot one, and then like I'm the sexy one, and then like and then my character shows up and is like so overweight and is like kind of shitting herself, and she has like a visible vagina, and like she's really overweight, and she just like is like
And she's like, why do I have underwear? And they go, the anime people didn't think they could make underwear
they couldn't
that
fathom
big.
underwear that big. It was it's so funny.
It is. I'm telling you, we need to resuscitate that video.
I hope it's on YouTube.
You can find it. I've watched it in the last.
You guys,
still there.
Everything's on the internet.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
It's not going
trouble.
anywhere.
But that was I think probably one of the first things people really kind of I will say.
Yeah, but the sketch show was like a big deal for me.
And I think that was your talent. Like that was when your talent was kind of shown to everyone.
Oh my God.
Were you really the class clown? Because I read that you were your teacher's worst nightmare.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Those were my senior superlatives. Yeah. I was always just an idiot. Just always wanting to just have fun. I don't like to be bored myself. So I just am always thinking what is like the funnest or funniest thing that we could be doing
That's
right now.
true. While we were on set, Amy would not let a minute go by of anyone being bored. We played games nonstop and told stories nonstop. That's true. Yeah.
And I see that in my son now, and I'm like, uh-oh. Like he's just like,
no, but that's a good quality.
it is?
quality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm like, let's have fun.
Yes.
Like, I want to have fun.
What was your first break? Like, what was
My
that moment?
first-
What was your Oprah moment?
My Oprah,
meerkats.
well, you have so many false starts. Like I did like a little role on like every comedy that shoots in New York. So I got a little part on Curb, little part on 30 Rock and stuff like that. Some stand-up, Last Comic Standing. But the Charlie Sheen roast. I was a roaster on the Charlie Sheen roast, and that was a big break for me.
Wow.
I went way too hard. And people were
do
like,
the throat stuff yet, or that was before that?
Did what?
Like the throat cancer stuff, like the.
Oh no, that was
when he
before
was
that.
going down? Okay.
It was before that. It was like but I went way too hard. And
Like, do you had an agent? You were.
I had reps, and I was like shooting a half hour for Comedy Central, and then it was like and then they were like, okay, and then we're gonna shoot a pilot for your sketch show, and then they picked up my sketch show, and then I was on Howard Stern, and Judd Apatow heard me on Stern and was like, I'm interested in this person's story, and we met, and I was like, I do have an idea for a movie, and then from there we made Trainwreck,
and that was it.
and that was it. Yeah. And now we're here.
I know. Can you believe it?
No.
And you always wanted to be an actress?
A flight attendant, I
flight
read over
attendant.
here.
Yes. No, I
Originally.
didn't
Hold on.
really know it was a real job. I just watched Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen movies all the time, and I didn't know I didn't know acting was a real job. I grew up in Southern California, but no one in my family was an actor or anything. So
And what was your moment?
When I knew I wanted to do it. Well, here's what happened. My mom was really obsessed with me going to a very good college. So she was all about my extracurriculars in high school. I tried out for every sport. Never made a goddamn team for anything. Nothing. Volleyball, tennis, swimming, soccer, literally nothing. I finally auditioned for, that's auditioning. I auditioned for Comedy Sports, which is the improv team in high school. Made that team, found my people. Then that coach was like, you should try out for the plays. And there was an all-boys school. I went to an all-girls school. And I was like, well, I'll try out for the all-boys school plays. And then I started doing that. And then I fell in love with it and thought, if I can get into NYU and do Tisch, then I guess I'll take this seriously. And if I don't get into Tisch, then this wasn't meant to be. And then I got into Tisch.
So you didn't, so in high school, you really didn't know?
No.
So funny.
No.
I know. It's crazy how I'm like a cat that doesn't die. Like I have, 100 lives, but it is crazy what you think you want to. I wanted to be a Dairy Queen waitress, but we've come.
You're going to get it, girl.
Still possible.
You got it.
It's gonna be
Don't
possible.
you give up on that dream.
I have to say, watching you, you were very giving with actors. I watched you. Well, I watched all the dailies, but it's incredible because you can be intimidating. Like
me?
Mm-hmm. In terms of
well, so can you. Yeah.
But
to make it in this business, you have to be a little scary.
Yeah.
But what was so great, I was watching one scene, just like how you worked with Lizzie, Broadway, and the balloon, and touching, and it was just so beautiful to see. I called Scott. I was like, oh, you should have seen what she did and like how she did it, and then she changed this, and then it was so like. You really are like incredible. You really are a director. You really are like just how you shaped the scene and like made her feel comfortable and like just loosened everything up and just your fucking physical. The balloon. I was like, I'm
like really slap me in the face with the balloon.
Yeah.
Like
she was like, just really do it, and you could tell like she, I was like. Really?
You were really great in that scene, I have to say.
Here's a true story. I was there.
Yeah.
I was like, am I going to miss anything if I have to go to the bathroom right now? And she was like, no, you're fine. I got up. I come back. She goes, you missed my scene. I was like, well, you could have told me. I asked you. Am I going to miss anything? I have to pee.
It's a little flash. But no, I have to say, what's been the best part of it? What's been the worst part of it? Let's start with the best.
Of this film?
Yeah.
Okay, the worst part of it was how it all started when I found out I had Cushing syndrome, and it was so difficult.
Will you set it up a little bit?
Because okay. So I
crazy.
So I was doing press for my Hulu show, which had 2 seasons on. It was
Life
called
After Beth.
Life
It's
and Beth,
amazing.
and I was like looking, like I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm like, like my face was really red all the time. And I was just like,
I thought you just,
you thought
we
like
had-
rosacea
I
or
just thought
something.
rosacea.
Anyway, only like your best friends tell you, or like the people, like there was just something so humane about you. Kind of like pulled me aside. Like you were like, I have rosacea. Like I've dealt with this before. And I was like, okay. And Molly was like, and I'm bringing my facialist to New
Catherine
York.
Esposito.
Yeah.
I love her. And
Coming to New York, love her. And you're going to see her. And I was like, okay.
No, meanwhile, I had no idea. She texted me. She's like, hey, what do you think? I'm on Fallon tomorrow. What do you think about my hair and makeup? Great. I watched Fallon. I texted her in the morning. But I don't go on, I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on like,
Yeah, you're not like reading the comments section.
I was going to say that's much healthier, Molly. That's the move.
But everyone was like,
I have no idea.
But like the internet was like, Amy's face looks crazy. And it was just universal. And then doctors started chiming in and they were like, her face looks really big and different. And like, it's not, it wasn't like weight gain. They were like, something's going on. And so I asked my best friend from home, like, one of my besties, Jess Sapienza Chiliotis. I was like, is my face like looking cray? And she's like, it's looking a little cray. And I was like, okay. And Molly was like, I'm sending you like a team and whatever. And then the doctors who were trolling me online were like, we think you have this thing. And then I got the blood work. Your adrenal glands shut down. And your pituitary, I might be getting this wrong. And you have cysts in your pituitary glands, and like it just from your cortisol levels, like things just shut down and your body is not running properly and you're so tired and it's a nightmare. But there's also a variation of Cushing where like you might die and it can be fatal. And it was a really frightening time. And I'm like,
it was all happening at the same time.
And so it was like,
it couldn't have been a more vulnerable experience.
And it was like,
time.
okay, 24 hours, like before, like we did a screen test and those are always really nerve-wracking anyway. Like,
100%.
The director of photography is going to look at how, he's going to light you and whatever. And we're out there and I am like, my manager was like, I'm thinking, Sharon Jackson's like, I don't know if you can do this movie. Like, you're so not yourself. You're you're like a shell. You're a husk. And I just felt like I looked so awful. And it's called moon face, this thing I had. But they were like, okay. Oh, and it's from steroid injections, from too many steroid injections. And so from some scarring that I have gotten steroids to try to, and I get epidurals for my back. Like I'm a total wreck. And I was feeling awful. And I talked to my assistant, Lorraine, was like, you know what? You look great. And this is going to be great. And Molly's like, girl, who gives a shit? You're going to kill this movie.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
You look great.
I was more worried like that something was wrong.
Yeah. And it was. And something was wrong.
It wasn't going to be okay.
But I'm just saying, without your support, Molly, I wouldn't have had it to get myself on camera. And I'm so glad I did. And
I'm so glad.
I
and
just
on
couldn't have
that
been.
screen test day, Amy, you were such a leader. You were so warm. You
I
were
can't believe that.
You were
I was
comforting me and Jillian.
I was?
That was the first day we met in person.
I feel like I was just an open wound out there, and
You
I was
were
like,
not.
"Help me!"
You were not at all. You
We
were
were
a
all
boss,
nervous.
but we were all. I mean, that's very true. That's in general. That's true.
Yeah,
but you were incredible.
But we
and you
just
looked
got
incredible.
through it, and like I
Yes.
love how the movie looks, and I love how I look in the movie. Yeah,
It's just a happy movie, guys.
Yeah.
Like as someone who was just on the outside watching it for pure entertainment purposes, it's exactly what you want to disconnect, laugh your ass off. My girlfriend last night, Hallie, was saying, she's like, we're going to do a little like girls' night next week and watch the movie.
That's
Like,
My
very
mommy
good.
and me texted me. I'm still in my mommy and me, and they want to do a screening of it after the. It's
We
so
were supposed to
sweet.
do it. We were supposed to do a
fun.
screening in LA, and you have to be incredibly proud of yourself because all those fucking haters. I mean, I could not. When I did look at the internet, I was like, "Oh, mother of fucking God!" Like that is a lot to take on.
So I've gotten a lot of hate over the years. This was a special round.
But didn't
of
it feel good?
Yeah.
To go back, because I read what you wrote, and it was so empowering. Like, this isn't because of whatever you had. Like, it was just so.
Yeah. Just like as women, we're just so we just get so much feedback. That's what I like to call it.
Feedback.
Thank you for your feedback.
Yeah, all the constructive
I'll take
criticism.
it into consideration. Yeah. And when it's about how you look, like how you were like born looking, and like, you think about little girls, and you're just like, think about the girl who's playing little me, and it's just, but now I'm just really proud of how I handled it and pushed forward.
I think that's so important, because I think that's like, I mean, I have 3 daughters. I know, they're nowhere near getting social media or even a phone for that matter, but that's like your biggest fear. Because I think that what's happened with phones and social media is it's like when you're driving, right? Like when you're driving your car and someone cuts you off, like I honk the horn, I flip them off. I am not the person that I am sitting meeting people.
Do you live in LA?
I live in New Jersey.
She lives in New Jersey.
And I drive like a Jersey crazy person. But I mean, I do think that it's actually gone a step further, because that's what people do, right? You're not going to like go fuck off to someone that like cuts you off on the street. But it's created this extra layer and this ability where people just don't view you as a person. They just are typing their things, and they
it's
just
all
talk
projecting.
To you.
It's all projecting.
No,
what I love
has nothing to do.
That's how they feel about themselves.
Yeah, with you.
Yeah.
It's so true. And I think that's like, you handling yourself with grace is an example for people, because I do, and also just like a big, like, hold on, like, we are people, we have feelings.
And be
there's just
careful,
so much noise.
like, the comment, because there's not a face behind it. It's not, you would never say those things that were written. You would never.
No, that's why they're emboldened, because it's hiding behind the internet.
Yeah. So it is. I think the more people stand up to that and call, I will call people out. Like I will respond a nasty response, and then I block them.
I'm spiteful.
I love it.
She's good.
Good at be vindictive.
Expecting Amy. I watched it. I did.
Me too.
It was very. You were sick.
Yeah.
Sick. I was so sick.
That was crazy. The whole experience.
God, that's why Jillian Bell from the movie, like 2 nights ago, was like, or was that yesterday? I don't even know when we are. But she was like, I don't feel well. Like she had like vomited a couple times, and I can't let anyone say that without going like, did you know how you felt? Can you imagine how I felt when for 9 months?
She said, I threw up 4 times this morning, and you said I did that for 9 months.
I can't let anyone, they go, oh, I had food poisoning. I go, oh, did you have food poisoning for 9 months? Like it was such hell. People have real PTSD from that. I do.
Oh, of course.
The thing you say to other mothers with HG, hyperemesis gravidarum, is you just say survive, because that's what it's all about. And I had the means to get IVs.
Didn't Princess Kate have it as well?
Yeah.
I read that somewhere.
Oh, I didn't know.
I know.
That.
That made, I was like,
You're
princess. I
You're
guess I'm
princess.
her. Yeah, that's me. That's me out there.
Only princesses get it, is what that tells me.
That's what I see.
Do you
too.
like being on a series? She's
Of
on Ginny and
course.
Georgia, people. I know everybody knows.
Oh.
How many seasons now?
We just finished shooting season 3, and it'll come out this summer, but we got picked up for 3 and 4 at the same time. So we'll have one more season.
It's great.
Yeah.
People love it.
Yeah, it's a dream.
Just
I've never
one
had
more?
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
We think so.
I want it to be like
Everyone
a Grey's
has
Anatomy.
stayed in I don't know what we would do. One semester has passed in 5 years, so I don't know how
I hate when people get caught up with that
I
stuff.
don't know how we can keep going, but it's true. Where there's a will, there's a way.
How has being a mother changed the way you kind of approach the work you're doing right now?
I think it changes everything about the way I work. I think probably everybody works. Just the empathy and the tactics that you learn of how to communicate with your child, with your toddler, you apply them to those people on set, because we're all children. We all want to feel seen and heard and empathized with and acknowledged. So I think it's perfect training to help run a set, so that when the, whoever is in a bad mood that day and is taking it out on the wrong person, to instead of meeting them
You hold space for them.
You hold
and you
space.
also try to hold space and meet them where they are.
Yeah, and be like, yeah, that would be really difficult, and I'm so sorry. Let's see if we can fix it.
Yeah.
And I think also people look to you like for how the set's gonna run. You know, whoever's sort of one on the call sheet is like you follow their lead because
100%.
if they're not like if they're like lovely to everyone and empathetic, then everybody has to be that way, or it's weird.
So you're setting
We've
the tone.
all been on sets where the number one
It's not that way.
is not that way.
No.
And
was
it does. It
thinking that
really
too.
sets that.
When Molly was saying that you give so much as number one, Amy, you're so committed in the scenes, and it makes everyone around you commit.
Like
to
want
their
to
character.
really be in
that
movie.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it work. You know, it's like, because I said, I'm like, the shit's, I squeezed her arm. I'm like, we go there. Like, we commit. Like, the movie. But I think that is what makes it so brilliant.
Yeah. That's why it's like such a ridiculous premise. But when we live it out so truthfully, there's a lot of heart.
And you and Will were fantastic.
Weren't we cute? Nobody thought we were going to have chemistry.
Nobody.
Oh my God, you had so much chemistry.
I don't know.
Why would they?
I know. I'm like, what is it? They want a sex tape? I mean, give us a break. We hung out this summer. Like, we had the best time. We have chemistry, you know? Yeah.
And he's so great.
Yeah. Everybody catches a little crush on Will.
I mean, he's
You
adorable.
know.
He's the sweetest.
He
the end of
kind of
this
sneaks
movie,
up on you.
What made
know?
you fall in love with this movie?
With this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, what made? I never asked you that.
I read the script. I thought it was such an amazing premise.
And then she
I
went
was
to
like,
work. I mean, she started writing.
Yeah, I was like, this premise is really good, and I thought there's already so much great stuff here. I don't even remember what is mine and what's not. I remember that I added the sex scene because I'm like, what kind of a sick person adds their own sex scene? But there were just so many funny things in there, and I just felt like I could relate to so much of it.
Yeah.
And I think Bree's character Meg is the most like me in real life, with how she feels about being a mom and where she is, and just keeps it very real. And yeah, I just thought we could populate this with great people and have it be and have wonderful set pieces and have people feel really seen by it, and highlight female friendships and the importance of them and like our sustainability day to day.
Yeah. So important. I mean, it's how we get through every day.
Yeah.
I mean, your friends are. She sent me a cute screenshot of all her best friends from back home. I love that little screenshot. It's cute. They're so cute, your friends.
They were so excited. They love the movie.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, I have to say, like, you just never know what's going to work. You know, I think I was so happy for Julie, because again,
her name's Julia Pavia.
Molly, get it right.
Yeah,
Because it's
Amy, like we kind of changed her life, and it's the entertainment business, as people don't realize. I mean, we've been working on it 3+ years. When we had a strike, you forget like all of it.
Yeah, and there's it's all trial and error, and it's in public.
Yeah, and I think what's so great about Amy too, like. You're on these emails, and I.
Wait, can you tell the story about your text message? This was one of my favorite stories.
I died. You guys, I died.
Had we even met yet? I think we had met once, or we hadn't even met yet.
Do you know this story? This is great.
Oh, God.
She called me. I was like, oh, my God, you will not believe who I just texted.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. And I don't know how to take it back. And
Molly was emailing
You couldn't
me.
delete text then? Yeah.
No, Molly was emailing me.
And I was nervous, right?
Then the wires crossed, and then I start getting emails from Molly like to pick up her dry cleaning. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then like very, very nice, very please pick up the dry cleaning, the kids, and then go, and I'm gonna get my hair dyed, and this kind of stuff.
Can you pick up my
Yeah. And I'm like, Molly, like I really want to be there for you in this way, but like so her assistant's name is Amy also.
Amy Suchman.
Oh,
and so I was like, okay,
God.
no worries. Can you just pick up my extension?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
For sure, I'm just in New York.
I wish I lived in LA because I would have just run the errands for you and just brought over the extensions and had you be like, what?
When I looked at it, I'm like, oh my fucking God. And I was like, when I called them, Michelle was like, I just had baby.
I was dying. I was like, wait, have you seen the meerkats?
funny. It was too funny. It was so fun.
But I have to say, you're on these 94 person emails and like you were a baller. You know what I love? I've, my company and like, I have to say, having a strong point of view, being able to eloquently say what you mean, what you like, what you don't like, it makes for a very streamlined process as opposed to not having a point of view or not knowing if you like black or blue or it's so, and I know that's probably come from a lot of years of being with, you're in a male dominated world.
Yeah, no, but they say, that decisions are really stressful. And so some of them, I think you just got to go with your gut and you have so many decisions to make. So it's like, okay. And like, that is one strong point that I have that Tyler Spendell, our director, like I'd be like, Tyler, like there's no right or wrong here. Like decisions are just decisions, So, but I do feel I have a strong point of view, but a lot of the decisions you got to just be like, keep it rolling and
Don't
make them quick
it.
and don't have too many people chime in.
It's debilitating if you just keep
debilitating.
overthinking. Yes.
Yeah.
You gotta rip the Band-Aid off.
But that's a real muscle.
It's a real muscle. One of my favorite scenes I love the garage scene, but the bathroom floor scene was probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much. That was so special.
It really
was so special.
Was.
It was so grounded. And again, this is what real women go through.
Yeah. And these are the moments you find yourself where you can just steal a couple moments where you can just be with your girlfriend,
Yeah.
Yeah, Meg not wanting to go back outside. Lainey being like, we can go. Just no.
Can we just hide on the bathroom floor for a minute, which every woman has done? Just let me hide from my family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
I've hidden a lot in the closet.
There was Milano commercials that I didn't understand before I had a baby.
I don't even know what we can't remember what the scripted scene was, but we like threw it away the day before. I rewrote it and then we rewrote it together and you had to memorize a whole speech and this is the night before.
So good though.
Thank you. That's my real birth story, which made it a little easier to memorize, of course. But it was Amy's idea to be like, let's be as authentic as we can. I think there's space in this scene to kind of build it out a little bit.
I lost so much blood. Like it was so.
Yeah. Like a lot of women don't take the space to
that's exactly what it is.
To
taking
express
up the space,
the trauma of their birth stories. And not that every woman's birth story is a trauma, but a lot of them are. And there's something about sharing them that felt really special and important. And you doing that was really beautiful. And I appreciate it. I appreciated the trust and you knew the care I was taking with it.
100%.
And and I was just thinking it's funny because there were moments where I was like very involved in the edit and then like some where I, where it was sort of like out of my hands for a little bit and like they instantly cut that scene and I'm like, guys, I'm coming back in here. I'm like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm back.
That scene is back.
That scene is back. Don't try that.
What is it like working in a male I mean, listen, just so she had Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock. I mean, all your boys, but Adam Sandler. But that has to be difficult.
I think I know just as well as they do about movies. Like I don't think Adam is in a league of his own. Like he's made so many movies. But if I go to the Met Ball or I go somewhere else, there's no one that I'm like worried about talking to. You know what I mean? Like, because I just feel like we're all the same. Mm-hmm, and like, I have a lot of experience in my specific field. And so, and I've been made to question that. And I've gone through every moment and I still go through every moment of like being questioned and like, do we just listen to her right away? Because people are not used to listening to women. Yeah. And that is strange to them. And I just don't take it personally and just push forward. And like, I would guarantee you that
I think it's your superpower.
I think it might be too. And but I think the people we just worked with, the men we just worked with, I think they would say she works really hard. She's a little difficult, and she's really smart.
Yeah.
I think that's what they would say. And I don't think they would use the difficult word for a man.
I think they would also say, she got us here.
Yeah. They would. They would say she got us here.
But to her point, I don't think they would say that to a man.
No. They never would. It's like, that's the sad part. I think
you're being a bitch, you're difficult, They
don't act like, honey, calm down.
Well, if their male counterpart said it should be different, they wouldn't question it either. Mm-hmm. They would just make the change.
Really? That's how it goes. And I'm so used to it. And it just seems like it's something that will always be there. I don't know any women in any position of power where it doesn't exist for them, that they have to prove themselves every second of every day.
Yeah.
Like as if they've done nothing. We do use it a little bit. Like I like to use my maybe I'm crazy a little bit. It keeps people on their toes. It's a tactic.
Or is it time for a rapid fire?
A little rapid fire.
Oh,
okay.
I love rapid fire.
Oh, we might ask you some fun questions. What's one piece of advice you had early in your career?
Trust your first instinct.
Brie, what's a fear you've overcome?
A fear I've overcome? Talk shows.
Good job, girl.
Biggest pet peeve?
Misogyny.
Most surprising thing about motherhood?
The most surprising thing about motherhood, I mean, I'm just a live wire. I feel like a bleeding heart. I don't know. I didn't think I'd be such a sap, for me personally, I guess.
How about you, Amy?
I was thinking the same thing. It's like what they say, your heart is outside of your body.
Yeah.
It's like you can't believe how much you love.
I could just cry looking at her all the time. Yeah, it's
just thinking about them, we could cry.
You fall in love all over again. I think I didn't know that.
I'm obsessed, and my son is so over me.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Amy, the videos of him sleeping on you,
and I love his
loving
costume.
on you.
Oh my God,
Mom,
you're not cool.
3 things we didn't know about you.
3. I've never had anal sex. I've never done cocaine. I've never done MDMA. Isn't that surprising?
That is surprising.
Yeah. You knew that about me.
I did know, and it surprised me when I found out.
Yeah. Yeah.
3 things we don't know about you.
She has.
I thought I was going to get a different one. Yeah.
All of those.
2/3 of them? No. When I was little, I went to school in Australia for 1 year. It was like 2nd grade. And I'm sticking with when I was little. Also, when I was in Australia, my big teeth came in when I still had my baby teeth. So they called me a shark. Oh. Because I had 2 rows of teeth.
Oh my God. Oh no.
And
that's bad.
What I know. And obviously it doesn't still bother me at all or anything.
No, you're not sensitive about it.
No, I'm totally over it. What else? I converted. I'm Jewish.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
From anal to Judaism.
Do you cook?
No.
With the exception on our girls' trip. And I keep having to remind you of this, and I don't know why.
Well, because I was drunk.
What's your favorite cocktail?
Amy made us cacio de pepe.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
In
my
New
favorite
Orleans.
pasta.
Okay, so her Amy's husband is a very famous chef.
He is a big chef, so I do not cook.
What's his go-to?
Oh, God. He'll make he'll do some kind of amazing pasta, and he'll use the blender to kind of mash up veggies and make the sauce. So he kind of sneaks nutritious stuff in.
Smart.
But yeah, no, he knows what he's doing. Yeah.
What's the best gift you've ever received?
The best gift I've ever received
Your voice.
is this beautiful singing voice that I have. My favorite thing, when my mom gave me this book and she hand wrote some notes along the side, and it's probably my most cherished item.
Fuck.
It was in the checkout aisle at Anthropology, and it's at Have I Told You, and it's flowers with what the flower means, and then she wrote little things on the side. Yeah,
I love that.
My mom gets me cards and just signs them.
Well, because Hallmark does all the work. There
Like it'll be some long word. Love, Mom. I'm like, this is so meaningless. Like, not even a little drawing, just
Text, FaceTime, or call.
depends on who, but I do love a FaceTime.
Text.
Night in, night out.
In.
How do you spend a day off?
Working.
Yeah.
Writing.
Long walk, long swim. Like if I really have the day off, like I'll like take an edible and go for a long walk around Brooklyn and listen to music and then go swim and then hang out with the fam.
Online shopping or in person?
Online, but in person is so fun.
I know.
Yeah.
What's your favorite
Well,
store?
you're more likely to get the size right in person.
I like 45 RPM.
What's that?
It's this Japanese company.
You know 45 RPM.
Oh,
Didn't they used to have it at Barney's? No, that's R13.
R13.
It's a really, you would love
45
it.
really?
RPM.
45 RPM.
I love in person. I'm a mall rat. I have the Short Hills Mall next to me.
Yeah.
It's like
We
shopping.
shop a
Hills.
lot.
Rush.
at
I
Short
love
Hills.
shopping with friends.
Oh, well, I mean, honestly.
you want to? It's by the way, it's
let's
as close
go.
to Europe as you're getting. Because there's no tax on shoes and clothes in Jersey.
In Jersey?
What?
What are we doing?
No, biggest vice.
I mean, I have so
It's
many.
exactly. It's like where does
Yeah.
one begin?
I need a couple pills to think about it.
We always ask every guest before we go, what advice would you give your 10-year-old self?
Oh, you want me to cry?
Yes.
No. What advice would I give my 10-year-old self? Look, Brianne, nothing good comes from being a perfectionist. I think when I was little, I thought maybe that was a good thing. It's not a good thing.
No. I would say in 8 years, are we supposed to be 10?
Yeah, 10.
Don't get that lower back tattoo. It's not good. And the guy giving it to you is not going to put it on straight. And tribal tattoos are not cool now, and they will never be. It's good. I love it. On vacation, people just go like, oh, the trash is here. You know, they know.
Tramp stamp.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's next?
I'm really looking forward to writing, directing, and starring in my next project.
Amy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm excited. You guys are awesome.
Thank you
you
for
so
Kind of
having
much.
Pregnant, streaming on Netflix. You
It's
guys,
so
Amy
good.
Schumer,
Gotta see
Thank
it.
you.
Brianne Howey. You
It
guys
is so
are
good.
So good. Everybody, the cast, I have to say.
The writer, Juliana Paviana.
Was the best.
And Google Meerkats, Amy
Yeah,
Schumer.
Google
Let's bring that back.
Meerkats.
That's what I'm doing.
Molly made this movie happen. Thank you. Love you guys.
love you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to Lipstick on the Rim with Molly Sims and my ride or die, Emese Gormley. We are so excited to bring you guys along on this journey with us. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Lipstick on the Rim and at Molly B. Sims. Or you can go to my blog where you can dive just a little bit deeper into my favorite products, trends, and more at mollysims.substack.com. And don't forget to check out our video episodes on my YouTube channel, Molly Sims. This podcast is a production with Sony Music. I wanted to give a special thanks to my team, Rosie Cummings, Kenna Ryan, Safine Kevorkian, and everyone at Sony Music. Don't forget to listen and follow wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss out on the fun.